So, servus. The first week is over. Again, I'm using this for my tracking. If you want further information about this, just watch the first video I made. So let's jump in because someone asked for plug as our newcomer here. We start on the weekly just to see the whole thing. So for plug, for the overall tracking, so for the big overview, you would come from your high. You get here your low, and this whole thing would be your higher low. Why would this be your higher low and not big A and big B? It's just because we are lower than this low, and B isn't lower than the A low. The low of B isn't the low of A. So the only way this would make sense is this is your higher low. And the next thing is, why is this whole thing not A? Because you need your higher low before that. So for the overall tracking, this was your peak, and this whole thing would be your higher low. What would come next is your big A, big B, big C. Just saying because, okay, but then the stock would go to incredible numbers. You already saw that in GameStop, for example, most of the time, or even Google or Tesla or Nvidia made the same thing. They will just do a split here so to get the prices down, so it's still attractive to buy for investors. For the normal smaller tracking, you have here your peak, you have here your lower high, you have your midpoint here, you have your last time to sell here, and then you have your V and your higher low. For what happened next, for the even more smaller tracking, you have here your A, your little A, you have here your little B with the pullbacks, you have your lower peak, then again, lower high, midpoint, T. Here you have your V under A, and then again, higher low, A, B, and then you have a higher peak. So for the bullish tracking for the future, which I'm again 50-50, is lower high, perfect. Your M is let's say 90%. This is for sure M. For T, I would say it's 50% T. For the bullish tracking, this is your T. That means, and then you had again your V under A. Your higher low is already finished. And for the bullish tracking, you are in the range of you already finished your A. I will show that on the daily. You already have finished your A peak, your small A peak. Maybe not, but you could still come up here or a little bit over it and then pull back. But the same, like I think it was Blink and Grab, we are in the range where you can say this is already your A peak, this, and you're already doing the little A pullback. For the future, your next target would be $31, and then again you take your wherever the pullback then is, your FIB retracement, your 0.5, for the B pullback, and then you go to C. For the bearish tracking, we would say that this was our T, or will be our T in the future if you still come up here and reject. If this is true, then this higher low is wrong, this V under A is wrong, and you would look for a new low. In this case, because we are tracking that this whole thing is a higher low, I would expect that our next V under A, which is still anything in between this, should make a higher low than this. So we would wait for the V, for the higher low, and after that, the price targets are still the same. You would go to your A, which is still at $5 and little pullback, and your B would also be in the same range. So what I'm leaning to right now, it's hard to tell. That the thing is, luck was in the past, in my opinion, associated to, it has similar moves like AMC. And on AMC, I have more bearish tracking than bullish tracking for the next months. So it would make sense for me that this wasn't T, so this would be T. And in the next 1 or 2 months, you would still look for your real V under A. For breaking targets, to get confirmation, if plug is breaking over, let's say $6-7, the bullish tracking, in my opinion, is that if you drop if you drop under $2, in my opinion, the bullish tracking is that. Right now, plug would be a waiting game for me. Next thing, fuel cell. I mean, I have to say, yesterday, again, a very red day on the market after a very green day on the market. For the overview, you come from a peak, low, high, MT, V, high, low. So this fractal is finished. Then again, ABC, lower hem, lower high, MT. Still right now, in my opinion, for fuel cell, we didn't do the A peak yet, just because of the small tracking. If you zoom in, you have your big V, like in the big one, you have your high low ABC, then again LMT, then you have your V under A here, your high low. Your little a would be here. This is clearly your B. And for a C, it's not impossible, but for a C, this would be too small for me. So I would still think we still need our A peak. So our target would still be $14. And then pull back. I mean, it's even with the trend breakout, it would make more sense. So you come up here, doesn't have to be perfectly on the line, can be lower or higher. Then you get your A peak, then you make a retest of the trend line. This would be your A pullback, and your next target would be 131 for B. If this was your A peak, yeah, then you're just in the A pullback, and your next target would be B. For an alternative right now, I really have to say I don't have one right now. To say that this was your T isn't really looking right. But for the sake that we have to have an ort, if we break under 727 again, I would say again, this wasn't your real higher low, this wasn't your V under A, and you would look for a new low, and then again V under A, higher low, and so on. And in that case, your A target would just be a little lower. Your B target wouldn't change. But right now I don't see that. Next, Bed Bath and Beyond. We did again minus 9% yesterday after we came back up from the 9%. For the tracking again, you have V, your high low, ABC, low high, M. For the bullish tracking, this was your T, this was your V and A, perfect, high low finished, A peak also already finished, A pullback would be also already finished, next target would be 36. For the bearish part, this was a T, and we would make a new low, would mean something higher than your last all-time low, or even a new all-time low. Why? I already showed it yesterday. If you look at it, you came down from your M, you came up again, make a W or M pattern, and the right side is higher. The same thing like you did here. You come from your M, you come up, make your W or M pattern, your right side is higher, and your knife. For the 8% down yesterday, I said for confirmation for the bearish part, we have to break at this level 870. If we break 870 bearish, if we go over $15 ish in this range, the bearish one is that. Right now, I mean, you see it here. We came down, we came up again, we came down. Right now we are range bound. Yeah, I'm still 50-50 on this. It's also a waiting game for me. For grab, nothing really changed yesterday again. This is a peak, low high, midpoint, T, V, high, low is finished. A peak is also finished, and we are in the A pullback. And in my opinion, again, A pullback is finished, and the next target would be $10. Yeah, it's just doing nothing right now. So, but it looks good. For this, I really don't have an alt right now. No. Blink, same thing like the bullish part of plug. Just for repetition again. So you're coming from a peak, you make your first V, ABC, lower peak, and then lower high, M, last time to sell, V under A perfect, higher low finished. And right now is only the question, was this already our A peak? and we are in the A pullback right now? Or is this just a part of the chat and we still come up here for the A? In my opinion, for the tracking, we come up here for sure because we go to B. But the only question is, if this was your A peak, you don't get a bigger pullback here. You just make your run to B. Right now, I said I sold my position here and left some runners. Yesterday I entered a new position for this run, but always 6 months out contracts, or if you want shares, no financial advice. Yeah, it's hard to tell right now if this was already a peak or if we still have to go here or a little up here and then pull back. SAVA, it starts to look more and more fantastic. For the overview, B, high low, A pullback, B pullback, C, lower high, midpoint, last time to sell B. This fractal finished. And right now, in the high low and on the way to A. A target, the big A target is for sure the gap fill. This one. And then around 40 for the T target and 50 for the B target, and then whatever. Right now we are here just because I showed yesterday also the old would be in the small tracking. You have the same V, you have a small A, a high low, your small A pullback finished, your small B pullback finished, and right now on the run to C. For the alternative is that your C is somewhere in here and not here, and your pullback would come to V under A or to make a new low. How this would look like was this here in 2018. I will show that once again for a side by side. So this candle only happens once. I will show both ways. So you're coming down from your T, you make your V, and this movement here, this upturning, and then you would go into this big candle. And in my opinion, for this alt, we are already in this big candle, and your target wouldn't be gap fill yet. It would just be a little bit higher where the gap ended. So my price target would be something between $6 and $5. And that would be your C. And you would come back down. In that case, you would make a new low. Then most likely bullshit till January, and after that you're doing the gap fill. For the bullish version, how this would look like, for the bullish version, we would be in September 2020, which I really lean more to it. We gap down, we find our low, we had our A, we had our A, we had our B, we had our B, we came down, we came down, and then we run. And in my opinion, right now, we would be here. Somewhere in here. Yeah, somewhere in here already. And in the next days, weeks, you just get the gap fill. Just to say that this is a 100% risk play again. All these gap fill moves are pre-market after hours in the past. You won't get any confirmation for this. If you don't have a position, you will wake up and the gap is filled and that's it. So yeah, play it, believe it or don't believe it. No financial advice. It's hard to tell. That's why it's a squeeze play, of course. Just to give you a little idea. I mean, I bought cars here. I already sold some here and took profit because they were up 2000%. I entered new ones here and still holding some of them. I bought them for, I think, 5 cents. And I think they are right now between 17 and 20 cents. If we gap fill this, just no financial advice, but I have $10 cars. If you gap fill this, these contracts will be $15 a contract. Just saying. AI did nothing again yesterday. For the overview, come from your high, LMT, B, A, B, finished. You come up, you make your A, your B, your stupid C because it's only $1 higher than your B peak, and it's a really big. It was a really big B. And right now, coming from your C, lower high MT, and right now we under A, higher low finished. For the bullish tracking, on the way to A, which would be at $30, your B peak 36, and if you break all-time highs or not, we will look. For the bearish part, which I had, would be that this, for the alternative, this would be a T. You would fall down again, make a new low, most likely a higher low, so something in here. Do your V there, higher low, and your new A wouldn't be 30, your new A peak would be 20, B would stay the same. Again, because we didn't really change anything, my breaking point, because I'm more bullish than bearish on this, my breaking point was this line. Because for my bearish tracking, I would expected that we will reject here and go down. So for breaking levels, if you go under $17, that would be bearish for me. If you break over $23, for me, my bearish tracking is most likely dead, and this bullish tracking would be in play. GNS, nothing changed, even with the 4%. You come from your C, lower high M, T, V, high low. You're already in your A peak. Your A peak is already finished. You're in the A pullback, and the next target would be B, and B would be, as stupid as it sounds, $80. For the alternative, and still stay at the bullish tracking. For the small tracking, it looks just perfect. You're coming from your C, little C, your A peak, midpoint T, did your V, did already your high low in the breakout right now. In your little A, next thing would be your B, which would be 134, and then C, and then already in the breakout. And for the bearish alternative, A pullback is not finished. And your first target would be 60 cents for a bounce, or the next one would be 48 or 50 cents for the A pullback to be finished and then breakout. If you break under, I said 34, but that's already very low. I would say if you break anything under 40 cents, 42 cents, I think I have to track it new, because then, in my opinion, the absolute bearish variant would come, and this would be just a C, a lower peak again, and you would go down. And in my opinion, then this company is finished. For how this move would look like, you saw that in the past. Most of the times, GNS isn't giving you something like this small slow uptrend to be. Most of the time, GNS is doing its V, higher low, and go. You don't see ABC. Here the same, V, higher low, and one run to your C peak. Here again, V, higher low, one run to your C peak. So it was doing that always. The downtrends are slow, but the uptrends after that are very quick. So in my opinion, whenever this A, and if the bullish tracking is too, but whenever the A peak is A pullback is finished, you will just see a run. If we break all-time highs, I really don't care. My B is at $90-$80. I will take profit on this way here. I will still track it just for study, but always, if you up 100, 500, 1000%, take profit. Leave some no financial advice. Leave some runners, and that's it. OCGN, yeah, didn't change anything yesterday either. So to repeat it again for new people, coming from a peak, endpoint, D point, last time to sell, V finished, V high low, ABC, a lower high, lower peak, L point, midpoint, last time to sell, V, high low finished, and now for the big tracking on the way to A, which would be $17, and then your B would be at 170. For the smaller tracking, you're coming from your B, your high low. This whole thing would be a small A. We would be right now on the way to our small B, which at $3, and your C is at A, at big A. The thing is, I said it in the last videos already, I will take profit here. And with profit taking on this stock, in my opinion, I will be out of it completely at this level. Because you will get a pullback here. It doesn't matter if you're using the bearish tracking, which I will show, or the bullish one, because this is your small C or your big A. So for the bullish tracking, you will come up here, somewhere in this range. We'll do a breakout retest, we'll bounce in this area and go to B. For the bearish tracking, you come up here, this is your peak again, and it would be again a lower peak, and you won't break 1865. you come down, lower high, T, low. And that's the shitty part about this here, because till you break down here, you don't know if it's just a pullback or if it's your peak. So I know financial advice. I go out here, wait for the bounce, and then I go into then I go into new contracts for B. FFAI was perfect yesterday, but I nearly had to say something stupid. I will explain it. For the overview, coming from your high, lower high, endpoint, last time to sell. We finished higher low right now, looks perfect. For the unrealistic price targets, just if you absolutely follow the rules, that would mean your A is at 154, your B is at 3,000, and your C is whatever, 100,000. Again, won't happen. For the realistic price targets, your A would be at $4, your B at $11, and you will reject somewhere in here. Make again a lower peak, a lower high, and just die. For the bullish tracking right now, V, small a, small b, small c, midpoint, T, B under A, perfect, higher low, right now, perfectly holding. Next thing would be 180 for A, for small a, $3 for small b, and your big A would be a small c. Why I had to say something stupid. I said, for this higher low to be true, you are not allowed to drop under 136-ish. And we came very close yesterday. We really came close yesterday. Just to say that, because it's a little off topic. I heard that so many times on other YouTube tracking. Let's say we would have done this Smith-a-Wick. So we would make a new lower low. I think all of you already heard the sentences, this was just volatility. Or they pushed it down, so they don't have to cover. Or it was a stop loss hunt. Or because the whole market was red, this had to drop too. All these sentences. The thing is, I nearly or ever heard, well, bad. My tracking was just wrong. Because with my method, there is no if, there is no volatility, there is no this candle isn't counting, and that's okay. No, if we break under this higher low is wrong. That's it. If we break under this, we still have to do a new V, a new higher low, something like that, and then we go. I really don't understand why most people can't just accept if something is breaking your targets or your limits, then the tracking for this was just wrong, and you just make a new one. For this, you have alternatives. So finished with the little rant. For what it would look like for a normal stock, yeah, of course, I would say you come up here, you make a breakout retest, you come here, you make a little B pullback, then you get your A, your B, your C. But same like GNS in the past, it's just not doing that. You make a V, you make your higher low, and you have a run to C. V, higher low, run to C. V, higher low, run to C. V, higher low, run to C. Always. So if the bullish tracking is true and our higher low right now is in, you just run to your C target. Wherever it is in here. But the last time this took, I think, 7 days to get from your V, from your higher low to your C. So that's a quick mover. So last is bull. Was perfect yesterday. For the overview, you come from your high, lower high, M, T, V, under A, finished, high, low, finished, and we are playing out right now A, which should be finished now for the bullish part. The pullback should also be finished for the bullish part, and your next target would be B, which for me is around 20 to 28-ish. And why I was saying it looks finished. I said at Monday, I think, or Tuesday, I want my V under A, which we got very quickly. And here, perfect example, just for I can make mistakes too. I was bullish here because I said we didn't got our V under A, but I don't care. I am bullish and we are finished and we go to B. And no, it was clear to see that it was wrong because we still had to do our V and A. Now we got it. And I said for the V and A to be true right now, we want to hold and make a higher low right now. And we did. So as long as we are holding, in my opinion, over 11, 80, $12, everything is perfect. And our next run is B. If we are breaking these levels, yeah, well, then I don't think we would. But then we are just looking for a new V under A. And we go. I don't think that we will make a new low. So it would be something in here for the new V, higher low, and then we go. For how the future moves could look like is if you use synchronization tracking. That just means you take the middle and flip this here. So what I mean, this would be your V. This here is your A, your little a. This here is your big A. This whole thing is this pullback. We are way slower right now than back then. But right now, if the bullish tracking is right, this would be your V. This would be your V. And this price action would be our future right now. And for the bullish tracking, this is just a cup. So doesn't matter if you break all-time highs or not. But if this pattern is true, after that, you would do your handle. And everyone who knows the cup and handle pattern knows what happens after that. But just to say that this will take time. So B, yeah, maybe till end of the year, January. But this June next year, something like that. This will take time. Okay. Tomorrow I think I won't make a video. I mean, it's Saturday. I will make a on Sunday a video just to conclude the whole week. I will show if the direction on the stocks are right, and then we just look for the new week. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, or if you want, like someone did, if you wanted to show other stocks, just write in the comments and I will look if I find something. And okay, thank you for watching.